As the saying goes, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But when it comes to movies, sometimes you don't realize it was ever broken until something new comes along. Movie remakes vary from the good to the awful, but when they're good, they can become iconic. New innovations in technology and societal and cultural changes all contribute to the desire to update classic movies, with some remakes being better than the original. There have been a total of 27 James Bond movies, with 7 actors helming the titular role throughout history. And just as the faces of the iconic secret agent change, so too has the style of movies. With gritty realism gaining popularity, Daniel Craig's debut as Bond in 2006's Casino Royale was a refreshing stylistic turn for the franchise. The 2006 Casino Royale offered a more brooding take on the suave character, reinventing 007 for the modern action spy era. Heralded as a landmark science fiction novel, adapting Frank Herbert's Dune is a gargantuan task. Herbert's novel is a rich text that has seen itself adapted into movies, miniseries, and video games. Denis Villeneuve's 2021 adaptation realized the benefit of dividing the story into 2 chapters to enable time for setting up the story's rich lore. With advances in technology, Villeneuve's film also updates David Lynch's gross-out effects in favor for dazzling imagery, utilizing innovations in CGI and green screen technologies. Believe it or not, Brian De Palma's iconic 1983 movie, Scarface, wasn't the first iteration of the epic story. It's actually a loose remake of director Howard Hawks' 1932 movie, which has the same title and basic plot. The 1932 version took place in 1920s Chicago, whereas the far more successful 1983 remake is set in the 1980s and features Al Pacino as the iconic Tony Montana. It's largely Al Pacino's over-the-top, legendary portrayal of the character that makes it the clear winner between the 2 films. When fans think of The Wizard of Oz, the 1939 version, directed by Victor Fleming, is likely the first, and maybe the only movie to come to mind. However, before that award-winning iconic fantasy film, there was 1910's The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, 1914's The Patchwork Girl of Oz, 1939's The Wizard of Oz, and more. Its use of Technicolor, Judy Garland's brilliant performance, and Fleming's direction that set apart the 1939 adaptation to make it the definitive version of the story. Although acknowledged as a sci-fi classic of its time, 1951's The Thing from Another World was heavily restricted by its lack of technology for the era. Unable to show the shape-shifting extraterrestrial, the film resorted to more creative ways of depicting the Thing without actually showing it. However, as technology advanced, John Carpenter's 1982 remake allowed the Thing to be shown in all its shape-shifting gore and glory. Utilizing practical effects, Carpenter's The Thing was a creative and terrifying exercise of makeup artist Rob Bottin's prosthetic skills.